Hello everybody, Shift Your Mindset here with a new episode. Why oversimplification is a red flag and often is used in cults. Maybe you don't know about it because we also knew other things about what and why is it a cult. Other circumstances, other cultic environments are authoritarian leadership, the isolation of people, of the members from the outside world. We know the suppression, we know emotional manipulation, stuff like that. But oversimplification is also a red flag and often used in cults. And it was a kind of a little bit new for me, so I find it interesting to dig into it, to research it, because they don't want individual circumstances and they want to reinforce group thinking. And that, for me, is a red flag. And oversimplification is the key indicator that with other behaviors is around in cultic environments. And what is the oversimplification of Watchtower? If you are a JW and you are in it for a long time, then you know that oversimplification is used especially in the last few years to a decade. Why and where? Let's find out. Where is in the education you guys are getting? If you are a JW, if you were a JW like me in the 90s, 80s, 90s, it was exciting to give a talk. It was exciting to study about Armageddon in the Revelations book. It went deep into the material, deep into research. I saw my father spend hours in his office just to prepare something inside in the scriptures. There were references made to old things, to quotes, to things they dug up at a site in a certain area of Israel or whatever. It was always exciting, not exciting, the meetings when I look back, but it was more exciting than it is now. Now you hear people dragging it out for 2 hours. If you look at the education you are getting, at the material you're reading, that you are discussing during the midweek meeting, it's all dumbed down. I remember that we had a certain speaker. He was from Beth Hell. And I call it now Beth Hell because nowadays if you get a speaker from Bethel, it's nothing new. It's rehearsing. It's if you are a public speaker, and I was for a little while, you had an whole thing you had to name in your speech. There were scriptures you had to mention in the last few years. There was no room for your own introductions, to research something you find interesting and you want to share with your public. It's now that they are so out of touch with reality that It is run by a script. In my last years as a JW, it was still possible in my talk to use my own pictures during the talk. I now hear that there are videos and pictures in your script that you have to use. A video that is mentioned or pictures are given to you by the governing body to use in your script. Back in the days, we had a brother and he could speak and you were on the edge of your seat. You can hear a pin drop on the floor. Everybody was so quiet, was laser focused on the stage. They were absorbing anything he said because it was lively, it was flowing, he always had beautiful illustrations. And now, if you look at the education you guys are getting, it's like you are being a 5-year-old. It's so sad to see that the whole magazines, the things you are discussing, talking about on Sunday, Watchtower study, it's all so boring. It's not interesting anymore. There's nothing new in it. They are only rehearsing things every few months. You get the same thing in a little bit of a new jacket, but it's the same education over and over and over again. And I know rehearsing things is one of the things that you need to do to get your gold members stay in line. But oversimplification is also a red flag. And you see it everywhere. It's so general now. It's nothing new. It's boring to, you hear it from everybody, especially the old people who are 50 years old in being a JW. They are sitting there and thinking, okay, yeah, that's what I learned when I had a Bible study. Why do I have to, what is the problem now? You are not challenged in your mind at all. And that is to create one big family of the same people. So oversimplification, people, is a bad thing. But the positive thing is, if you notice it as a JW, you can't deny what I'm saying now, because the last 5-6 years, it's heartbreaking to see the midweek meeting. You have a little bit of a script and 5 minutes a brother have some scriptures and something around it. People are judging you if you give a public talk, if you are following the script. It's not about if you have the capabilities of being a public speaker anymore. Because back in the days, I knew an elder, the CEO, and he was just listening to the brother, and then at the end of the public talk, he put a cross after his name, and he said to my father, don't invite him again. It's not good enough. We need good public speakers. We need good people. But now it's more, if you are towing the line, if you are a great battlite, if you're doing your job, then you get to speak on a convention or something. Back in the day, you had a small selective group of brothers who put in the work in that talk, who could convince people to listen to their talks, to not go away and walk around and be distracted. Nobody was distracted when certain people were speaking from the stage. And nowadays it's about how faithful are you to the governing body? Because there are a lot of brothers who never get to that point to speak on a public stage because they are not doing enough ministry or whatever. Even for being an elder, you have to be a good teacher. Nowadays, everybody can be an elder. How can a 21-year-old be a good public speaker or teacher? So they simplified everything, the education, the standards of when you can become a ministerial servant or being an elder, and everything is now general. And it's so easy now. You don't have to prepare anymore for a meeting. Back in the days, you know, Saturday evening, you were highlighting some sentences in your watchtower so people could see that you prepared, and you had to prepare sometimes because it was difficult otherwise to give an answer just out of the top of your head or in a split second. So most of the people, they came prepared. But now, if I would go to the meeting tomorrow on Sunday, I wouldn't have to prepare anything because it's just there in the paragraph and it's so simplified that even a 5-year-old can give that answer on the spot without rehearsing, without studying, without anything. And the crazy thing is, the people are still eating it up like candies. I can't remember, because it isn't a problem from not being a JW anymore. If you are JW now, you also have to notice this change. You also have to think by yourself, what's happening here? What's left of my religion? What's left for being excited that I hear something new, that someone said something that I didn't know of, and that you are gonna research it when you are at home, or that you are being encouraged by something. But no, we now have public speakers who just is running a script, is obligated by the governing body to mention certain scriptures, to show some certain videos or pictures. So the whole thing about you putting your energy in it to make it yours is gone. It's about the group. The talk is not about you as an individual bringing the message to another person. It's about a simplified script with no emotion, with no joy, but just plain giving it away to the public. And those speakers are getting worse and worse and worse by the minute. If you look at them, how they are standing there, not being enthusiastic, just bringing it to the people. It's now only a script, and the speakers that gave the beautiful talks are also gone. So control has taken over, and that's because of simplification, oversimplification of all the education you are getting. Let me know what you think about the education level at this moment, and stay safe, and we'll see each other on the next episode.